1984 NCAA Basketball Championship from the Omni in Atlanta. It's the Cavaliers of Virginia versus the Orange Men of Syracuse.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by your Central Virginia Nissan Datsun dealer, who invites you to come drive major automotive values, and by United Virginia Bank.
Down to the final 16 teams, the Sweet 16. And welcome to the East Region, everyone, from the Omni in Atlanta. We're delighted you can join us here for the coverage of these two games. Hello, I'm Jim Sacker, and joining me is Irv Brown, a former Final Four official, great coach. Irv, two surprising teams here.
Listen, these two ball clubs have done a great job. Virginia has the work ethic. They'll go down in the mines and they'll battle you. Syracuse will get it up and down the floor. It's dead even. We could have a great game.
They said that Virginia would be out of it without Ralph Sampson. Some said they shouldn't be invited, but here they are. They proved they belong. And Syracuse picked down lower part of the Big East before the season. They proved that the Pearl could do it for them.
The Pearl will penetrate, and I guarantee he's going to have to do a job against that 1-2-2 that Virginia will use. They'll pack it in. I really see a dead even go. Try and pick a winner in this one. It's going to be tough. It'll go to the wire, in my opinion.
Herb, it's the fast thinking of the Syracuse because they like transition up and down. Virginia wants a half-court game, slower tempo. What do you think?
I think that both coaches will try and do that. Normally, all college games come down to the free throw line, and I don't think this will be any different tonight.
All right, it's a great shooting Syracuse team here representing the Big East. Virginia representing the Atlantic Coast Conference that sent 5 teams to the NCAA and 4 still alive. We'll be back for the opening lineups of tonight's game after these messages.
United Virginia Bank wants to loan $550 million this year.
We don't need that much.
Well, we've made it easy to get a loan at UVB.
So we don't need $550 million, I can tell you that.
You'll find our applications are very simple.
They're just building a patio.
And we want to loan all $550 million at very competitive rates.
Well, I guess we could use Italian tile.
United Virginia Bank. We're lending money in a big way. The following merchants wish to express their support for the Virginia Cavaliers. ADT Security Alarm. In the security alarm business for over 114 years. Commercial, residential, and industrial. Call 262-4300. Phillips Building Supply Incorporated. 721 Ryle Road in Charlottesville. Complete line of hardware and Benjamin Moore paint. A great game serves a great night at the Strawberry Street Cafe. The neighborhood cafe worth leaving your neighborhood to visit. Congratulations, Cavs, on a great year.
Hey, folks, the Nissan truck you've always wanted is yours now during your Datsun dealer's 50th anniversary celebration. Check out our selection of rugged trucks and at 8.8% financing. We've got Standard, King Cab, 4x4s, all at 8.8% financing. That means savings of up to $1,400 on some models alone. Come on down now and make your best deal.
Now is the time to save at your Central Virginia Datsun dealer.
The Virginia Cavaliers, coached by Terry Holland, a former student and player under Lefty Driesell, who also has his team in the NCAA. They won 19 and lost 11 this year, finishing with a losing record in the powerful Atlantic Coast Conference. They come in the East Region seeded 7th, but they've had 2 victories, defeating Ionis by 1 point, and then upset 8th-ranked Arkansas 53-51 in overtime last weekend. The Syracuse Orangemen, coached by Jim Boeheim, a former great star for the Orangemen back in the glory days, 16th ranked in the nation. They lost in overtime to Georgetown in the Big East Finals. They were 23-8 on the season, and they're seeded 3rd in this East Region. Well, the tournament fever's hit, Irv Brown, and there's nothing like it.
Surely isn't, Jim. My favorite day in all of the world is that Saturday afternoon, the Final Four this year in Seattle. And that's what these ball clubs are shooting for tonight. We'll get a good look at Virginia and Syracuse. And of course, the next one, North Carolina, top-ranked in the country, going against the young Indiana ball club. This place has been sold out for weeks, Jim, and the people definitely will get their money's worth.
Let's look at some of the Virginia players because they did lose three-time Player of the Year, Ralph Sampson, who won in the NBA last year after 4 unsuccessful tries to win a national championship. The man who's filling his spot is a 6'10 freshman from New York City, Polynice. A lot of other guys just have to pick up the slack.
Well, there isn't any question about it. And, of course, the interesting guy is Othell Wilson. He got bounced early because they had a problem discipline. They said that, hey, Othell has come on. He leads the ball club and everything. He's a great talent. Could end up playing professional basketball.
Syracuse, on the other hand, had to rebuild completely. They lost Routens. They lost Bruin. They lost almost the entire ball club. They did bring back Addison, but they added a jewel of a freshman in Dwayne the Pearl Washington. There's none other like him, and you're going to delight in watching him here tonight if you haven't seen him already in Big East competition his first year. He is something to see.
Well, you know, the Pearl penetrates so effectively, and that's why you'll see that 1-2-2 zone packed in. They'll try and take away some of the things he likes to do.
The Omni here is not a strange coat, of course, Virginia. They played here in the ACC championship a few years ago. Now for the opening lineup, let's go to announcer Marshall Mann.
Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia Tech welcomes you to the Omni for the 1984 NCAA East Regional opening game between the Virginia Cavaliers and the Syracuse Orangemen. Now let's meet the starting lineup. For Virginia, at forward, a 6'8 junior from Princeton, West Virginia, number 4, Jim Miller. For Syracuse, at forward, a 6'7 sophomore from Jersey City, New Jersey, number 12, Rafael Addison. For Virginia, at forward, a 6'8 senior from Alexandria, Virginia, number 30, Olden. For Syracuse, at forward, a 6'8 senior from Indwell, New York, number 55, Sean Karen. For Virginia, at center, a 6'11 freshman from New York City, number 24, Olden Polynice. For Syracuse, at center, a 6'8 junior from Malvern, New York, number 53, Andre Hawkins. For Virginia, at guard, a 6-foot senior from Woodbridge, Virginia, number 11, Othell Wilson. For Syracuse, at guard, a 6'2 freshman from Brooklyn, New York, number 31, Dwayne Pearl Washington. For Virginia, at guard, a 6'5 senior from Ogdenburg, New York, number 34, Rich Carlisle. For Syracuse, at guard, a 6'3 senior from Long Island City, New York, number 33, Gene Waldron. And introducing the head coaches for Virginia in his 15th season, Terry Holland. For Syracuse in his 8th season, Jim Boeheim.
And we'll return to the opening tip-off after these messages.
I'm a Democrat and proud of it. But this election is not just a choice between Democrats or Republicans, liberals or conservatives. It's a choice between the future and the past.
Gary Hart believes the politics of yesterday have failed us.
Why not new approaches? Why not training accounts for retraining our workers? Why not freeze the production of plutonium? Why not tax polluters? I think it's time for a new generation of leadership with new ideas.
For years, people have been fantasizing about what cars will look like in the year 2000. Well, fantasize no longer. Because one car you may be seeing next century is here today. The 1984 Volvo. Statistics show the average life expectancy of a Volvo is over 16 years, which means instead of fantasizing about cars in the next century, you can own one that could make it there.
Visit your local Richmond area dealer for a test drive soon.
First meeting ever between Virginia and Syracuse. Syracuse representing the Big East and Virginia from the ACC. The officials for today's game, the referee is Bobby Deibler, the Pac-10, Charlie Vaca, and on the right is Sonny Holmes. 3-man officiating crew. There'll be no shot clock here as in all NCAA championship games. No three-point goals, so Irv is straight-up basketball, and two teams that appear to be fairly evenly matched.
Well, they really are. Once again, a couple of coaches have done a great job. Terry Holland, close your eyes and listen to him. It's Randolph Scott all the way. And Jimmy Boeheim is just a tough guy. He used to play tough and he coaches tough. I like them both.
Well, Boeheim played with Dave Bing on the great teams back in the middle 1950s. Virginia controls. Both teams like to wear the orange. Virginia's the visiting team, so they'll be in the orange shirt. And home white for Syracuse.
They'll open up with the zone. Both ball clubs will do this. Now, both will play man, but it's become a zone league as far as the country. Everyone's coming out and playing zone.
Probably Syracuse gets a little edge here on the perimeter shooting if they're going to play zone all the way. Both teams like to penetrate dish out. Jimmy Miller on the outside. Rebound will be cut the last. Sean Curran comes down for Syracuse. The Orange will try their hands after about 30 seconds of the first half. Up goes Addison, a little bit long. Polynice has got it for Virginia. The Cavaliers will run if they got the break clear. If not, they go to the half-court game.
Make a good point, Jim, because there isn't any way Terry Holland wants to get in a running match with the Pearl. 2-3 zone defense now for Syracuse, and that's how you beat it with the flash.
Jimmy Miller flashed right in there. Rebound will be coming off here to Carlisle. Here comes the Pearl. He beats the one man, then a reach-in foul. After going to, if it's on Wilson, let's see. Yep, it'll be on Othell Wilson who's first. That'll be interesting to watch.
Look at this man in the open court. He's so tough. Gives you a little juke. Goes around Wilson. Gets fouled right there. The ball will be inbounding. We don't shoot in college basketball till 7. That's what's so tough about the Pearl in the open court. He's just devastating.
Herb, he's got tremendous foot speed. I think that's really what makes him great.
You know, they play in front of as many as 30,000 in the Carrier Dome. He'll go into Madison Square Garden and 19,000. He just seems to rise the occasion if they have a turnover.
Jimmy Miller made the play. Got a finger on the ball. Syracuse cannot handle it. Another turnover. And here comes Virginia still with no score on the boards. We played over a minute. There's Carlisle, probably the best perimeter shooter for Virginia. And they put a little pressure on him out of the zone. These teams, of course, well scouted by the out-to-ball club. Long Wilson, nope, going to give it over to Carlisle.
They're looking for a triangle. They'll work very hard on the baseline. Try to set a triangle, and then they'll flash behind the guard.
They'll try to get someone to commit in the zone and hit inside. That's what Bill Wilson had in mind.
And, you know, the key here, Jim, is to make the center make a decision. They want Hawkins to have a decision here. Do you cover the back line or do you come up right there? There was the flash.
There goes Bill Wilson outside. Both teams tight. Hawkins can't hold it, but Miller knocks it away and out of bounds. So Syracuse will come down for the second time, and we're still tied. No score. 2 minutes gone by. Perhaps both teams a little bit tight.
You know, they stand on the Syracuse bench until they get a bucket. They've been standing 2 minutes. Nothing's happened thus far.
Syracuse defeated Virginia Commonwealth to get here, 78-63. After a close 30 minutes, they pulled away to win.
1-2-2 zone defense was so effective in Arkansas.
Walden doesn't get the roll, and Virginia claims the rebound. Nobody's come up with an offensive rebound. Each team had about 3 shots at it to miss, and we're still scoreless after 2.5 minutes. This is the 12th NCAA for Syracuse. Virginia in the NCAA has only lost 1 NCAA tournament game to a team other than an all-ACC member team.
What's so important, Jim, is that you move and get different angles of the zone as Carlisle gets his shot. He's way off.
Now there's the first offensive rebound. Edelin clears it outside. Virginia gets a second chance. And Jimmy Miller makes his drive on Addison for the one-hander. Still can't hit it. The lid off for both teams. Here comes the Pearl. This is the Syracuse running game. Pearl inside. Cecil Waldron to the back.
So that's not bad, is it? That's what it's all about. As the Pearl does this thing, Waldron off the glass, and we finally got ourselves a score. 2-zip. Favors Syracuse.
And they went over 3 minutes without scoring. Both teams did. So if they got tournament jitters, maybe that'll settle them down.
Jim, we were talking once again, the key against the zone, though, is do not let one man cover two. Keep your angles correct. Keep it hot. You can get past when available.
Othell trying to penetrate. That draws him away from Carlisle. And here we go. Another offensive rebound. Jim Miller out for Wilson. So Virginia's had the only 2 offensive rebounds. Jim Miller behind the screen. Nope. Still won't go. Virginia's about 0 for 6. Syracuse leads 2-0. And Carl Washington, the double team hit, carries the baseline. Great baseline shooter. Here comes Othell Wilson behind his back. Syracuse, plenty of defenders back. Wilson open court. Wilson loves to run, but he has the discipline. He knows that Terry Holland wants a slower-paced game.
Well, you know, you make a good point, Jim, because Othell Wilson certainly has the skills to do it. Pearl gets most of the accolades in the open court, but Othell Wilson surely can do his share.
An interesting match between those two if we come down to man-to-man later. Inside, Polynice up over Hawkins, and it is tapped up inside, but offensive interference is called against Jim Miller, Virginia. That's Dave Odom, the assistant coach, couldn't believe it for Virginia.
Here's the call. It's a good call by Gold Holmes. You cannot touch the basketball when it's in the cylinder, and that's exactly what happened. 2-0 is our score.
And Virginia's gone to almost 4.5 minutes without scoring, and Syracuse has gotten only 2. There's Jim Boeheim. He's 5-5 in NCAA tournament play, and was an assistant coach when Syracuse made the Final Four in 1975. That was under Roy Danforth. Earl Washington, that good first step, off the dribble. Rebound, Virginia's got it, and taken away by Hawkins. Syracuse gets its first second chance, Addison fires. And down is even for Virginia. Cavaliers will try to tie it again.
Well, this is unbelievable. One team is shooting 0, and the other team is shooting about 10%. And you know they didn't get here playing that way. They're just tight. There's something about being in the final 16.
Both like to play against man for man. Each is forced to play against the zone. And that was expected. Carlisle, the best shooter. From the perimeter, ties it up. Virginia's first score comes after 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Pretty consistent guy, Carlisle. They go with Carlisle, Stokes, and Wilson is the very effective backcourt.
Carlisle was recruited heavily by Syracuse, so that was a sweet opening bucket by the young man from Ogdensburg, New York. Walden taking a look inside. Neither team's been able to get his big gun open. Waldron from the corner. He's got all 4 points, and Syracuse leads 4-2.
Well, the senior left-hander has the most experience on the ball club, and they expected a big year out of him. He's been kind of up and down. Off to a good start here tonight.
Syracuse has won only 1 out of 4 tournament games they played against ACC teams. They lost the first 3. They won their last time. Carlisle almost got his foot again. Inside Polynice, by move around Hawkins, and he draws the foul.
Boy, did they move the basketball that time, Jimmy.
Hawkins is very foul prone, and it may be Achilles' heel for Syracuse to keep him in the game.
All right, here's the big guy. Get the baseline now as Hawkins gives it up and then hammers him on the arm. So Polynice, a guy who makes very few mistakes. He just goes out, and he's the kind of guy that gives you days' work. Just a freshman, wasn't in the top 100 recruited. They like him in Syracuse.
Boy, imagine the shoes Polynice had to fill coming in behind Ralph Sampson. But in his last 9 games, he's averaged almost 12 points a game. Over 7 for the year, 5.5 rebounds. Now he can tie the score.
What I like, Jim, is how he does not turn the basketball over.
We're tied for the second time with 14 minutes to go in the first half. A timeout on the court here in the Omni with a score. Syracuse 4 and Virginia 4.
Richmond, you can go to the mountains or the beach, but there's only one way to go in a 1984 Oldsmobile Forenza wagon. Why put everything and everybody in a small car when you can fit nicely into a new Oldsmobile Forenza wagon? And here's the best part. Right now, Royal Oldsmobile has new 4-door Forenza wagons for just $85.85. That's right. With all this equipment, just $85.85. So this year, take your vacation in style at Royal Oldsmobile.
Number of investment programs, new changes in tax laws, jumbles of opportunities to save. The complexity of all those plans can be overwhelming. Since 1893, Scott & Stringfellow has been serving Virginia with effective investment plans soundly based on individual needs and resources. Carefully trained brokers offer personal attention and knowledgeable assistance in searching out the best strategies available. For the benefit of a regional firm with a special knowledge of Virginia, call Scott & Stringfellow. Our interest is you.
Well, those actually a field goal percentage figures, believe it or not. They look like earned run and batting averages, but Virginia hitting 11, Syracuse 33.
It's really been tough. Both teams in the zone. The 2-3 for the Syracuse Orangemen and the 1-2-2 that Terry Holland used so effectively against Arkansas when they packed it in.
Prior there, let's go Who's, and of course that's a shortened for Wahoos. That's why Virginia refers to themselves a lot more than do the Cavaliers.
Rebound even at 6. Once again, 1 for 9. The shooting percentage for Virginia. That's 11%. Syracuse 2 for 8, 25.
Virginia changed its zone. There goes the penetration by the Pearl. They sets up Addison. Pearl Washington spotted that change in defense immediately. Virginia went to 1-3-1, and he found the opening.
So is that the game to penetrate? They have the best for a freshman, the Pearl. You're going to hear more about him.
6-4, 2-point lead by Syracuse. Virginia's never led in the game. They tied the score twice. Now going for a third time.
Once again, they continue to work the baseline. That makes it tough on that zone. You got to stay honest.
That was Othell Wilson getting it back from the Pearl, or rather from Olden. Carlisle lobs inside, and there he goes even in the tie to send the game back to Polynice. Send it back to a tie.
Boy, you got to like this guy's potential. Terry Holland did a great job seeking this man out and then staying with him. He's made a big difference in this ball club.
Virginia using his zone defense that stymied Arkansas and tied up Joe Klein so effectively the Cavaliers upset the Razorbacks in their last previous tournament game. Addison can't get inside. Washington hit Curtis from the corner, a little long, down to Jimmy Miller. Here comes Virginia. Othell Wilson. Wilson foul by Walden. Number 1 on Walden, number 2 against the Orangemen.
Jim, you take a look around at the background trying to figure out why these ball clubs are not shooting well. We said, you know, we feel that they're tight and everything. The background is good. That shouldn't be the problem. But, you know, Cairns is a good shooter. As we get a look at Jimmy Boeheim, and he didn't even get iron on that one.
Neither team's made a change yet. Washington here is a pesky defensive player. He's very adept at shooting the ball. He tries to upset your pattern of play.
He'll pick your pocket. You better be careful. There's the flash.
Now goes Miller inside. Whoa, yeah. Gets below. And there's a push underneath the basket. That's against Syracuse.
The basket has to count. It's a different foul. The ball will be inbounded. I think they got Hawkins. Let's take a look. The ball, here was the flash by Miller as he comes in. This is a very effective method right there that Terry Holland uses. There's the shot by Miller. And there's the pushing underneath, and they get Hawkins, I believe.
That's 2 on Hawkins. So he gets his second personal foul, and the third against Syracuse as a team. Now here's substitution. Hawkins goes out, and Alexis has to come in and replace him. Wendell Alexis, a 6'9" sophomore from Brooklyn. Taller a little bit, but not nearly as physical as Hawkins.
Syracuse has had a problem all year long on the boards. They've been out-rebounded by 1 virtually every game. And even though Hawkins is a big guy, they give up a lot of size.
Both teams made a change. Stokes is in there. Polynice has it stripped away. Wilson returns it. Ricky Stokes now guards. A small lineup for Virginia now.
Watch Stokes penetrate when he gets his opportunity.
Too good a pass. Picked off inside by Alexis. Here comes Pearl Washington. Washington on the fast break. Stripped away by Stokes. And a reach-in foul on Stokes. Stokes is so good at reaching in to strip the ball. Sometimes they get fouls on him. He really doesn't commit.
Well, his hands are so quick. You make good sense, Jim. That happens. A lot of times he'll pick a pocket, and you don't believe he's done it because he is so quick. I like Stokes. And once again, we will see him penetrate.
8-6, Virginia leading for the only time so far in the game. 11 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first half. Winner of this game plays either North Carolina or Indiana for a spot in the Final Four from the East. Quick shot off the baseline. Rebound is tipped off by Elam. Boy, Elam really got the air that time.
Well, he is tough. He's not going to throw you with his shooting, but ever since he came back from that broken cheekbone, oh, the shooting is
on the bench, and it's lost out by Walden. There's a mismatch on the weak side rebound. Walden got caught with 6'8" Tom Sheehy, and Sheehy's height created the play. It's the Polynice. The shot is blocked by Syracuse, but right back goes Stokes. Beats to Sheehy underneath, and the layup by Elam. So that's Polynice. Polynice scores again. His 6th point. The freshman is shining from New York City.
Jimmy knows what he did. He used the basket to go underneath to protect him so nobody could block him out.
Virginia gets the first 4-point lead. Alexis on the inside. Virginia tips it out to Stokes. Cavaliers have it again. Now they're running. Long pass comes down Othell Wilson. Under. They lead up to England. Kenton England scores. Virginia's up by 6. The first real run of the game.
Give Othell all the credit. He's such a good athlete. He could be a defensive back in football. He's just tough. He's very strong. He's quick.
Virginia 12, Syracuse 6. 8 straight points by the Cavaliers. They've got the Wahoo faithful on their feet and howling here in Atlanta. Early in the game, though, 10 minutes yet to go. Another turnover. Sheehy's got it down to Stokes, and Stokes is fouled by Washington.
Boy, what an effort by Stokes to keep his body between him and Washington and the basketball. He picks up the foul because this is going to be a turnover. Virginia's been very alert the last few minutes, as you pointed out, Jimmy, making the run. And Stokes does a great job here to draw the foul.
Team foul number 4 against Syracuse. Jimmy Boeheim now, a little bit of concern. He's made another substitution. Greg Monroe, a 6'3" freshman guard, who's just been outstanding in his rookie year. Most pleasant surprise on the Orange team. A man-for-man defense now by Syracuse. First time.
This is what they like to play. They'll run out of that zone because they're very effective getting the break. There's Washington.
2 on Washington. Washington just runs over Ricky Stokes. He's very clever at drawing charging fouls.
He's tough. I'll tell you, that's his game. You make a great point, Jim. Those are not accidents. That's Stokes' deal. Watch him as he hustles out, and then he'll stop short, puts on a little bit of an act. That's not a bad way to go.
Well, a little push there by the Pearl that time, though. Pearl thought he had him cut off. Denying the ball. 12-6 Virginia.
Got to go back in the zone now to protect the Pearl. He has 2.
The inbounds play also kind of puts him in the zone. 2-3 zone. Back comes out of the ball. Sheehy. Inside is put up by Polynice. Boy, has he played a great 11 minutes.
Hope to tell you, for a guy who, once again, is not in the top 100 recruits, somebody missed, I'd say.
There goes Addison, baseline drive, too strong. Rebound, Sheehy taps out Othell Wilson. Here comes Wilson racing with Stokes. Wilson driving, banking, no! Kept alive by Virginia, but then picked up underneath by Monroe. And here comes Syracuse. They've been in a little bit of a drought, but down by 8 points. Washington just doing the foul from Stokes. Wow, they're turning on the steam here after almost standing around for the first 5 minutes. And the Pearl loves that tempo. A smile by Terry Holland. In his 10 years at Virginia, the Cavaliers have won over 210 games. That's better than 21 wins a year. Not bad. Well, there's time on the court with a score. Virginia 14 and Syracuse 6.
Experience selection. Circuit City Superstore. Experience audio.
17, 18, 19, 20.
Experience video.
10.
More video. Superstore. More appliances. More selection. Circuit City choices. It's up to you.
I'll take that one.
Circuit City. Unlike any other store. Superstore. Anywhere.
You know, you can deal with a bank year after year, and still they treat you like a nobody. You open accounts, take them your hard-earned money, and they act like you're not even there. That's why I changed the Bank of Virginia. They know a good customer when they see one. I can get loan discounts, an investment savings account where I call the shots, and the kind of service I thought disappeared years ago. Really, for the first time in my life, I feel like somebody.
Think for yourself. It's worth making the change, the Bank of Virginia.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the NCAA. Any use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers for this program have been approved and contracted by NCAA Productions.
Jim, Syracuse just having a horrible shooting night with 9:32 left. They're 3 of 11 from the field. That's only 27%. Virginia didn't exactly lighten them up, but they are at 33%. The Cavaliers have come on the boards, and they lead that department 11-8, particularly the offensive end of it, thanks to Polynice.
2 fouls by Pearl Washington, and the strange thing is that they built up the duel between Washington and Othell Wilson, and both those fouls came in battling against Ricky Stokes. 14-6 Virginia. Pearl Washington from the outside. Oh, rebound to still Othell Wilson. Wilson looking for the break. Not going to be there this time. He'll set the half court. Man for man by Syracuse. Sheehy drives to the baseline and scores right over Addison.
He's tough. He was the MVP in the United Bank Cavaliers tournament.
12-6 straight points by Virginia. They lead by 10, the biggest margin by far to either team. Syracuse has now been hitting from the perimeter. That's part of the big game. Washington just missed a moment ago. Here's the ball, Monroe on the fake. Washington will take it down about an 18-footer, and Washington does come through. Unusual looking shot, but they all count. That was a long drought by Syracuse. Virginia has scored 12 consecutive points.
Well, and once again, Washington's probably going to have to penetrate that zone unless that outside shooting does improve. We just saw the good effort by the Pearl. Back to man-to-man now. Jimmy Boeheim in the Syracuse team.
They got a freshman, Monroe, now Wilson. There's the pick. Wilson, rebound by Turn. Fast break broken up by Othell Wilson. Wilson, very heady player. Wilson breaks inside and scores.
Jimmy, that's the way to stop the break. You choke the guards off, and that's exactly what Othell Wilson did. Rebound the outside shoulder with your big men and choke the guards with your little guys.
18-8. 8 minutes to go here in the first half, and Virginia's jumped ahead of Syracuse by 10. Addison fires inside. Blocked and taken away by Polynice. Oh, what a stout game of the young freshman. 6'10" Polynice from New York. Syracuse still man for man. They've had to put Pearl Washington on little Stokes with his 2 personal fouls.
You know what Stokes is going to do? He's going to take him to the hole, try to get him that third one. First chance he gets. Here's Stokes.
Gee, he's got an extra incentive here tonight. He was inside goes Merrifield for that and lost a foul.
Well, we got to travel. Walk comes before the foul. Goes home, makes the call.
So now we'll welcome all the other viewers from ESPN here with an 18-8 lead by Virginia. 10 points, and we have 7 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the first quarter here in tonight's East Regional from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Syracuse led earlier by 2 points, but never by more. Pearl Washington takes one step in, misses. Rebound, Olden for Virginia.
Tell you one thing, Jim. You know, most ball clubs out of the zone don't rebound well because they don't move their feet. Virginia's done an excellent job. They've given the Orangemen one shot only.
Syracuse trying to double up out of the zone a little bit on the ball. Now they go man for man. Under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Virginia's up by 10 points. Both teams with atrocious shooting up to now. But Virginia have the one hot streak. There's the lob inside the stuff by Olden.
That's not a bad-looking alley-oop. Looked like Michael Cooper. Look to the fans. There's a lot of Virginia folks here. They like it.
And, of course, a lot of North Carolina fans here cheering for the ACC. Irv, we might point that out also. But there were several busloads of fans from Charlottesville area came down from early this morning, left in the wee hours of the morning in Charlottesville for the drive to Atlanta. Inside Hawkins. Hawkins backs up the inside. They may get Olden for blocking, or they may get Miller on the reach-in. Personal fouls against Virginia need their event from Miller.
Hawkins a little frustrated. He has the 2 fouls, had to sit it out a while. He's trying to get down low in the block so that they can operate because the perimeter shooting hadn't been anything to shout about. So he's trying to help his ball club out. Wanted the ball to go down, unable to do it. Right now, Virginia has the lead 20-8.
Only 8 points in just about 14 minutes for Syracuse. Virginia's always been a very tough defensive team. Kearns from the perimeter. Ron Kearns.
That's more like it because this guy's a good shooter. He has dedicated the season to his father. He lost his father earlier in the year, and here's a guy who just worked as hard as possibly as you could want a guy to do it.
He paid his dues 3 years off the bench, and now he's getting to start here in his senior year, and he's had an outstanding campaign. Merrifield, Othell Wilson.
Well, look at Merrifield. You talk about a guy who likes to bang around. Look at him push and shove. He's tough.
Jim Miller comes outside off the man for man. Inside, Merrifield takes it up inside, and he draws the foul, and that's 3 on Hawkins. Syracuse has got a real problem.
I guarantee you one thing. If you want somebody to muck it up for you a little bit and somebody who is tough, it is Merrifield. This guy comes in just a moment ago, and watch him battle under here. That's what you like to see. Somebody gets under there and shows his assertion immediately. He is a tough guy.
That's the third against the Syracuse center. Andre Hawkins and the Orangemen now have a definite problem with 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Merrifield will go to the line. The 1 weak spot of the Syracuse team, they do not have a deep bench, and especially do they not have one who can replace Hawkins' strength.
Well, and Hawkins and Addison have been foul-prone all year long, and it really hurts Jimmy Boeheim. That means that the Pearl has just got to take over and do his thing. He's going to have to penetrate. The best-looking play we've had tonight by the Pearl. He penetrated and found Walden for the easy shot off the glass. Here he comes.
11-point lead. There goes Washington. They're getting a lot of double teams on him. 11-point lead for the Cavaliers. Virginia back to the zone. They can almost call the shots now as long as they have the lead.
Oh, he'll stay in the zone. Terry Holland's a very intelligent coach. He doesn't get much credit. It's a shame because the man knows what he's doing. And basically, Jimmy's a man coach. He don't want to play his zone.
Washington off the dribble. There he is, just as you mentioned, Irv. Wayne the Pearl trying to take charge for his team. They're trailing by 9 after that basket.
Keep in mind, Jimmy Boeheim, one of the better competitors in this country, and this club will not quit. Doesn't matter what the score is. There's Othell.
They'll throw it away. Charles couldn't believe it. He's got Washington down there. He gives it to Washington. There comes Washington inside and feeds off to Alexis, but there's a walk on Washington. Turns it over to Virginia. Under 5 minutes remaining. Nothing going well for Syracuse. And Virginia running out on top. So there's timeout on the court with the score. Virginia 21, Syracuse 12.
Hey, folks. The Nissan truck you've always wanted is yours now during your Datsun dealer's 50th anniversary celebration. Check out our selection of rugged trucks and at 8.8% financing. We've got Standard, King Cab, 4x4s, all at 8.8% financing. That means savings of up to $1,400 on some models alone. Come on down now and make your best deal.
Now is the time to save at your Central Virginia Datsun dealer. Who wants to make biscuits? All right. Who wants fresh-made biscuits? Thought so. So now McDonald's is making you fluffy buttermilk biscuits, fresh every morning, with ham or sausage, topped with a fresh egg if you like. Now it's fresh biscuits at McDonald's for folks who don't want to make them, but just want to eat them.
Right now, McDonald's sausage biscuits are specially priced 2 for just 99 cents. Great deal on a great breakfast and only at McDonald's.
9-point lead by Virginia. The Cavaliers a very strong position. They're on the bonus here for the last almost 5 minutes of the first half. Yet they committed only 3 team fouls of their own. They have Syracuse's center Andre Hawkins on the sidelines after his third person.
39% the shooting percentage for Virginia from the floor. Syracuse is up to 31. Washington able to get one down just a moment ago.
A graphic a moment ago pointing out only Virginia has been in the final. So all of the North Carolina in the recent years, that of the teams that are remaining in the final 16. The other pairing here in the East Regional tonight, top-ranked North Carolina will take on Indiana, the Big Ten.
Here's the press now by the Orangemen. Jimmy Boeheim has pressed all year long, and it's been effective. And once again, you got to change things up when it's not going well. Look at the aggressiveness here, Jim.
Carlisle gets into a double team, but off to Wilson. Virginia very well set for that pressure defense. They have no trouble breaking it.
But you notice Virginia hasn't pressed much this year because they don't have Ralph Sampson to funnel it into. Now, Terry can put in some people that he can press with, but when you go with the normal lineup, you just can't do it.
Jim Miller breaks away from the press, goes inside, and there's a personal foul against Syracuse. Well, Jimmy Miller with a driving penetration draws another personal foul against Rafael Addison, his first. And like Irv said, he is foul prone. He gets a little advice there from Jimmy Boeheim. 5th winningest active coach. You know, of all the top 20 active winning coaches in the country, 9 of them are in the NCAA Final 16. But you know, Irv, 4 of them are in this tournament.
That's right. You got some people who can do it. We talked about Boeheim and Holland, Bobby Knight and Dean Smith, the only 2 people to play for championship teams and then coach an NCAA champion. Will hook up in the next go.
Jimmy Miller for his 4th point. Rebound Edlin clears it back outside, and Virginia with a 10-point lead will get back the ball. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first half.
I'll tell you, once again, Edlin is not going to throw you shooting the basketball at all. But he do a job on the backboard. You know, Virginia all year long is one ugly. In fact, a lot of people kid about it. But they go out, and they've got that work ethic.
2 guys fighting, or we would throw the ball out of the stands. The man who won it threw it short, threw it into the officials. 22-12, 10-point lead. Virginia fumbled by Polynice. Gobbled up by Alexis for Syracuse.
Othell Wilson once again shadowing Washington's time to just...
Well, Othell just smells the challenge there, and they are the man for man. So Virginia's come out of the zone. They like to mix it up. Terry Holland said he planned to play a lot of man for man tonight, and here it is. He's got a 10-point lead with under 4 minutes to go in the first half, but he has played more zone, Irv, I think because of the big lead. Inside, there's rebound is battled and taken away by Virginia's Rick Carlisle. Carlisle knows Washington behind him. Virginia by 10. Posting down low, Jimmy Miller with a spin in the back. Tipped up inside one. And now it's grabbed by Rafael Addison. Syracuse been hurt on the boards. That's one of the... Oh, what a pass to Sean Kern. And going for the rebound is Virginia, and there'll be a charging foul by Polynice. He went too aggressively over the top.
What a great pass, though, by the Pearl. Teammate unable to get it down, but the Pearl does his job. Look at this. Threads the needle. Just a bullet. It's like John Elway. Ball won't go down. Virginia picks up the foul. That's a 15th foul on the Cavaliers. One more angle. Excellent pass.
Syracuse cannot afford, though, to miss these kind of opportunities.
No, it's been a very frustrating night for Jimmy Boeheim. He's got his team well prepared. You can't fault anything they've done technically. Ball won't go down.
Addison wide open. He's a good shooter. Guarded, and he cannot get it home. 22-12. Here comes Wilson off the fast break. Underneath Polynice. He's got his man there. Cut, and now the ball goes out of bounds. It'll go to Syracuse. Look at some action off the Virginia bench. Tom Sheehy is set to check back in. Sheehy's older brother, once played for Syracuse and left under very unhappy circumstances, so there's perhaps a bitter feeling between the Sheehy family and Syracuse, and maybe a little extra incentive here. Percentage is coming up a little, Irv. Ten-point lead, Virginia. Walden trying to penetrate. Down low, and Reba good blocked out by Olden.
Well, did he ever? You know, a lot of teams think that you should just leap for the basketball. That isn't what the Cavaliers or the Orangemen do. They both block out. Film study will prove to you blocking out is so much more effective than just leaping.
2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first half, and Virginia grabbed its edge away from Syracuse here so far in this first half. They were the underdog, Virginia was. Boy, Cavaliers really showing great patience now, looking for a good shot.
Well, they burned a minute off the clock, just taking their time. They find it easy.
Easily passing it up. Well, that'll show how meticulously Virginia's in the hunt now for a really good shot. A minute 50 to go in the first half.
Oh, they got a foul inside. I'm not sure.
I think. Nope, that's going to call it against Alexis.
Jim, you mentioned how meticulous they were. I looked at Terry Holland. I'm not sure he wanted him to be that meticulous because Evelyn had a pretty good-looking shot.
That was a pretty good shot there, and I think Evelyn might have been well advised to go in and take it to him there. At least probably could have drawn a foul. So here's the 1-1 beginning for Virginia. Of course, they did have that going for them. Monroe comes back in the guard for Syracuse. This guy's playing more and more for Syracuse, and he'll be ready to take over a starting role next year when Walden goes out.
I like him, out of Rochester. Just a young guy, 18 years of age.
Rebound, grabbed by Alexis. Look out, here he comes to Pearl. Well, Pearl shut off from the double. Oh, another great pass off the Kern. Rebound, grabbed by Carlisle for Virginia. Virginia's owning the board here on Syracuse, and there's a walk by Carlisle.
Well, Washington is perplexed. He has made some excellent passes. His teammates just have been unable to get the ball down. That's been their story in the first half. That's why they're down 10, poor shooting.
134. Rebounding statistics are going to be very. Here goes Washington penetrating and then feeding it to Addison for the layup. Great play by the Pearl.
Oh, if he creates some things, you talk about having instinct. That's a Magic Johnson type of pass.
22-14. Pearl comes out to challenge Othell Wilson. Sheehy now bounces in the underneath. Look, though, Polynice. Oh, what a play by England. Virginia's looked very sharp for her.
They have done a great job. Once again, this is a ball club that'll go down in the mind with you. It's a work ethic team. You got to like what I'll tell you. The Virginia fans and the Syracuse fans have to like what they've seen all year long.
Nice tip in inside by Addison. Addison, Virginia fans are calling for offensive interference. It looked like he got that ball outside the center and then took it in. 24-14. inside the last minute of the first half. Virginia may not be aware of the time. They might be looking for it. Unfortunate because they only had 40 seconds to go, 38 seconds. And still is putting it out for a shot. They went on their offense. We get a picking foul on Edlin.
I thought that might have been against Washington. It was not. It is an illegal pick. So the ball will be inbounded. 16 fouls now on Virginia. Last shot time coming for the Orangemen, and they have fought their way back into this. They were shooting 11% at one time. They're down 8. Get one here.
Could get it back to 6. 35 seconds to go. Ball in the hands of the Pearl.
Red Auerbach says the Pearl can play pro ball right now.
Monroe. And again, Edlin skies up to get the rebound, but he threw it away. Another turnover by Virginia. Alexis inside Pearl, stripped away by Othell. Wilson saves it in beautifully. They got 15 seconds, plenty of time. Carlisle just takes the easy one, misses it, puts it up and in.
All right, let's see if they can get a shot. They have 8 seconds left. Here's the man that can create something. 5 seconds.
3, 2. Washington fired it weakly as he lost balance. The first half will end. And there's a foul against Addison on the play. Virginia's got a chance to stretch its lead to 12.
Boy, what a turnaround of events. Syracuse came down with 22 seconds. They shot too early. Jimmy Boeheim wanted one shot. And now not only do they give up a bucket to Carlisle, they've got a 1-and-1 coming, making up this lead to a dozen.
And it was Addison's second personal foul, and Virginia's doing it with defense, especially on the boards.
They've done a tremendous job of blocking out. There's been one shot with the exception of Addison's rebound a moment ago. 1-and-1 coming here, and boy, what a turn of events. We were looking at a 6-point lead. Now you're looking at a 12-point bulge.
Edlin, 1-and-1. No. So early the first half is over, but Virginia taking a pretty good margin over Syracuse, sitting for what will be a mild upset. That's the end of the first half with the score. Virginia 26 and Syracuse 16. We'll be back after these messages with our halftime program.
At Central Fidelity Bank, we know there's no place like your home, especially when you found a way to make it bigger and better. And there's other building to be done, like a college education. That's why Central Fidelity's home improvement, personal, and home equity loans have lower interest rates. You've been working hard for the way you want to live, and we're working harder for you with lower interest on loans. Today's business doesn't wait.
As soon as possible.
There's never enough time.
No coffee. ASAP.
So Savin introduces the ASAP copiers, the fastest, most productive Savins ever. The ASAP 5040 feeds documents almost twice as fast as Canon, runs faster than Xerox Marathon 1045.
Okay, let's move on this.
Savin, the dependable decision.
Street & Company, serving Central Virginia for 33 years with offices in these locations.
From Mack to Mercedes, Thurston Spring Service does front-end work for just about every kind of car and truck, foreign or domestic. Does your car ride poorly? Does it pull to one side, or do your tires wear unevenly? Thurston does wheel alignments, computerized balancing, and straightening axles. And Thurston is the only spring shop in Richmond. Since 1911, Thurston Spring has made cars and trucks ride better and safer. And from Mack to Mercedes, we still do. Thurston Spring Service, just south of Manchester Bridge at 314 West 7th Street.
Miller & Rhodes Hermitage Warehouse Spectacular is on again. For 2 days only, this Friday and Saturday, save up to 50% on hundreds of items like TVs, portable and console, refrigerators, laundry pairs, lamps, microwave ovens, recliners, sofas, small appliances, carpets, even sheets, towels, pillows, and mattresses. The Hermitage Warehouse is directly behind Parker Field. Courtesy vans available at the downtown and Willow Lawn stores. Miller & Rhodes Warehouse Spectacular, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 9.
Well, a low-scoring first half, but Virginia with a fairly good margin with that low score, 26-16. Both teams started as though they're not going to score all night, Irv. But then Virginia hit the one little hot streak that opened it up for them.
Yeah, they really did. I thought Polynice was just outstanding. He did so many things for a young guy. And I thought Virginia was very alert on defense. They pounded the defensive board, did the job. They built up that nice little bulge. You never can relax, though, when you got a guy like the Pearl. He started to bring him back. He had some outstanding passes. His teammates just couldn't put the ball in the ocean the first half. They've got to improve their shooting percentage.
Big turnaround in the final minute there. Looked like Syracuse have a chance to get the margin to 6. and it winds up almost 12 for missing the front end. But then Hawkins with 3 personal fouls is another important item for Syracuse concern.
No question about it. Once again, in the second half, anytime you've got the Pearl Washington, you've got to be very alert of what he can do. Plus, I do look for Jimmy Boeheim to come out and press. He's been effective with that all year long.
Well, he certainly would like a faster tempo, which he hasn't had here in the first half. First half dominated by the Virginia defense, and the fact they hit the one hot streak to open up a 10-point lead, and that's what they have here at halftime, 26-16. We pause now for a local station break. This is an NCAA Productions telecast.
You can buy a brand new 84 S10 pickup today with no cash down and pay less than $34 a week. That's less than $5 a day. Where? One place, Martin Chevrolet, Central Virginia's volume Chevrolet dealer. Right now, Martin has tons of S10s, all in stock for immediate delivery. Get your new S10 today for less than $34 a week. Less than $5 a day. We've got them here right now at Martin Chevrolet. Martin Chevrolet, Midlothian Turnpike, 3 miles west of Cloverleaf Mall, Richmond.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Groom delivers what no one else can. Away to D.C. every hour. Call Groom or your travel agent.
And we're back at the Omni, and our very special guest, athletic director Dick Schultz from the University of Virginia. You got to be feeling pretty good.
Well, right now I'm feeling real good. We'd like to call it off right now, Irv, and go home.
Go home after 20.
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you what, neither ball club was able to shoot a lick in the beginning. Your ball club came along, but right now Syracuse is just ice cold.
Syracuse is still having problems from the outside, and fortunately for Virginia, we're only giving them one shot, but it looked like it might be a shutout there for a while on both ball clubs. We might have had a new NCAA record.
Hey, that freshman is not too shabby in the middle.
He's really come along and has been the difference in our ball club the last 6 weeks of the season. We've got good experience on the perimeter, Irv, and earlier we had no inside game other than Jimmy Miller, but now Olden's starting to come along. He's been getting anywhere from 12 to 15 a game the last 5 or 6 weeks. It makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, it really does. You know, Dick, it's been suggested that your ball club plays ugly, and I would take that as a compliment because they really do have the work ethic.
They really do, and I think it's a credit to Terry Holland with what he's done. We call it the first year BR, the first year AR after Ralph, and a lot of people didn't think we'd be back here or we'd have any kind of a ball club at all, but he's done a great job with these kids, and you take a look at the schedule they played, then you know why they're here and why they're doing a pretty good job.
Well, you make a good point. A lot of people say, well, listen, they lost 9 out of 13 during the mid-season stretch, but you were never at home. You were on the road all the time.
Well, right, and 9 of those 11 losses were teams that were ranked in the top 12 or 13 in the country, and that's what people forget. And they were all 2- and 3-point ball games.
Remember your old days at Iowa?
Oh, I certainly do. I was there 16 years in baseball and head basketball coach, and you never forget years like that, Irv.
Appreciate you stopping by, Dick. Good luck the second half.
Good to see you again. Thank you much.
All right, we'll be back after this from the NCAA.
NCAA baseball. Powerful, exciting, entertaining. It's great fun for the entire family. The Division I baseball season climaxes at the 1984 10th in Omaha, Nebraska. Discover the drama when the nation's most competitive college baseball teams meet in June for championship play. The College World Series, truly the Omaha Classic. The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
Saves me time. Going Groom always saves me money.
Call Groom or your travel agent.
United Virginia Bank wants to loan $550 million this year.
I'll take it.
Well, sir, you will have to fill out an application.
Is it hard?
No, but you should look it over.
I'll take it. Put it in the bag.
Aren't you interested in our competitive interest rate?
Nope.
We do have an excellent rate for person...
Skip it.
Well, sir, even if we could loan it all to you, how would you spend $550 million?
Fast.
United Virginia Bank. We're lending money in a big way.
There's a new force in business communications, driven by the combined energies of New Jersey Bell, Bell of Pennsylvania, and Diamond State Telephone of Delaware, and the C&P companies of Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. Introducing Bell Atlantic, working with customers in business and government
to make business communications work better. Introducing Bell Atlantic. One call, one source, one company.
We're the Neat Sweep Chimney Service. Every year you find a new reason not to have your chimney swept. A wood stove must be swept every year, a fireplace every other year, and an oil flue every 5 years. These pictures are of homes we haven't serviced. When can we service you?
The Omni and the East Region semifinal, University of Virginia leading Syracuse at halftime, 26-16. And a gentleman we've been looking forward to talking to now for some time here at halftime, Mr. Vic Bubas, who is a member of the NCAA basketball committee and would become chairman of that very august body in 1985. Vic, you've got another great show going.
Well, we really think we put together a fine tournament, and the number of upsets plus close games that we've had, Jim, really is a testimonial to the parity that we have in intercollegiate basketball.
Well, I think that's certainly true. You think about teams like Dayton and the University of Virginia, which drew some criticism off their season record in their own league, for example. But it just proves that the barometers you use are working, and they are correct.
Well, I think we had very good information from our advisory boards of coaches, and the committee did hard study throughout the whole year, and I do think we did a good job of putting it together. There are always a few disappointments, but you have to expect that.
Vic, let's look ahead now, Vic, to college basketball in the coming years. We all know you're changing your 64 teams next year.
Yeah.
That's going to change the look a little bit.
Yes, we're going to have, we're calling it a junkies holiday because there's going to be 4 games on the first day at each of the 8 sites. And I think it's going to be exciting. We'll eliminate the byes. We're going to keep basketball alive at more points in the United States than ever before. I think revenue, exposure, everything will be better because we've got this thing on a par now with World Series, Super Bowl, Masters golf, and so on. So I'm really proud of the progress the tournament's made.
Well, it's becoming so big, I would imagine it's a job just to decide where you're going to play it. How do you do that?
Well, there are, you know, the sites put in their bids, and we look them over, and it has a lot to do with how many they seat, what kind of hotel accommodations they have, whether they've had experience in putting tournaments on. There are a lot of factors, but there are also more and more new arenas built in the United States, so we're not going to run out anytime soon.
Are you going back to the big arenas like the Super Bowl often?
Oh, I think you're going to see some of both. We like the idea of the big arenas part of the time, but I don't think we ought to hold ourselves exclusively to that, and I think the committee feels that way also.
Dick, thank you very much. Good luck at your other hat, Commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference. You're doing a grand job.
Thank you very much.
And now we'll be back for the second half after these messages.
Wherever a university or college stands, it stands and shines. Wherever it exists, the free minds of men, urged on to full and fair inquiry, may still bring wisdom into human affairs. The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
Hey, folks, the Nissan truck you've always wanted is yours now during your Datsun dealer's 50th anniversary celebration. Check out our selection of rugged trucks and got 8.8% financing. We've got Standard, King Cab, 4x4s, all at 8.8% financing. That means savings of up to $1,400 on some models alone. Come on down now and make your best deal.
Now is the time to save at your Central Virginia Datsun dealer.
The Software Center of Richmond features one of the largest selections of business, educational, and entertainment microcomputer software ever assembled. You can choose from the world's most complete, up-to-the-minute IBM, Commodore, DEC, Apple, CPM, and Atari software. plus an extensive selection of computer books and magazines. And at the Software Center, they'll counsel you on which programs best suit your individual needs. Stop by and visit the folks at the Software Center in Gayton Crossing Shopping Center.
United Virginia Bank wants to loan $550 million this year.
We don't need that much.
Well, we've made it easy to get a loan at UVB.
We don't need $550 million, I can tell you that.
You'll find our applications are very simple.
We're just building a patio.
And we want to loan all $550 million at very competitive rates.
Well, I guess we could use Italian tile.
United Virginia Bank. We're lending money in a big way.
Well, here you are, faced with new office space. Bare walls, bare floors, and a lot of different tastes and work needs to satisfy. So first of all, you'll probably contact a designer, then a painter or paper hanger, a carpeting contractor, someone for the new open office system you'd like, and finally an office furniture supplier. Whew. Better than that, simply call Chasen's Business Interiors, because at Chasen's, floor to ceiling, we do it all.
WTVR-TV, Richmond, Virginia, Channel 6.
It's the 1984 NCAA Basketball Championship from the Omni in Atlanta. It's the Cavaliers of Virginia versus the Orange Men of Syracuse.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by your Central Virginia Nissan Datsun dealers, who invite you to come drive major automotive values, and by United Virginia Bank.
10-point lead by the Cavaliers from the University of Virginia in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Syracuse with the Big East 16 had a miserable shooting first half. Let's take a look at the statistics. I know Syracuse has to be downhearted. Virginia shot only 37%, but look at those statistics by the Orange Men.
Boy, and I'll tell you, one of the telling ones, notice Syracuse did not go to the line. Jim, the reason for that, they're not going to the hole and giving the officials the decisions. Plus, they got out-rebounded 28-15. Keep in mind, though, Syracuse is a ball club that's used to coming from behind. I was back in the dressing room area. They came out fired up. They came out an extra minute early to do some shooting, because that's their biggest problem. They have not shot well. And there's a look at the individual scores. Look at Polynice.
Polynice with 10 points. He leads all scores. Top scorer for Syracuse is their leader, Rafael Addison. He averaged 17.6 on the season. Syracuse is the second highest scoring team in the NCAA, almost 80 points a game. North Carolina's 80.6, Syracuse 79.3. So Terry Holland looks all calm there, but he saw the churning over on the inside, holds everything within him, and he's got to be a pretty good coach to have 300 victories plus.
Well, keep in mind, what was Virginia before Terry Holland came there in basketball? That's a pretty tough conference he goes against every week. Yeah, you know, you don't go out and get yourself a silver mask or a mask and a silver bullet. That is tough.
Virginia over to the man-for-man. Othell Wilson on Pearl Washington. Baldwin, Washington, the guards. They're starting Hawkins at center, even though he has 3 personal fouls. Here goes Currents to slide, and that's exactly what Syracuse wanted.
Here's the press, Jim.
First shot. They go to Virginia's waiting for the press. Carlisle takes it in, beats it. England can't hold it. It was knocked away by the Pearl, out of bounds. So Virginia gets a break. Syracuse likes to run and press, and they got the first shot down. Have Virginia on the run.
I think they got to turn it into an alley fight. They were too nice that first half, and look at them. They're doubling up everywhere. They are turning into an alley fight.
Goes across. Here's Washington stripped away, and the ball is stolen from Washington. Here comes Othell Wilson. So Virginia takes it right back. Inside, batted away by Hawkins. Now here's Syracuse getting into the racing game. That's what they like. Turns for 2 in a row. Rebound will be run down by Virginia.
Get set. Buckle them up, Jim. This is going to be a wild second half, because that's what Syracuse is going to turn it into.
26-18. Of course, Virginia will have something to say about that if they can. They like to dictate a slower tempo. They had a lot of luck going to Polynice on the inside in the first half. Hawkins is in there guarding him with 3 fouls. Might be a good idea. Go ahead and get in the Polynice.
Or is this a patient ball club? Look at him look inside. Nice.
Jim Miller with a spinning hook shot. Rebound taken by Hawkins. Went up aggressively with the 3 fouls. Syracuse, of course, cannot play on the wrap. They're going to go all out. They were down by 10 at the half. Hawkins is inside. Good reversal on the ball. Olden from the perimeter. Yes. Syracuse has come back with a vengeance. They got the first 4 points, and the lead is down to 6.
Once again, they are good perimeter shooters, and they just were cold. Here's the pressure, and they do a good job with it.
A lot of double teaming. Now Carlisle is left wide open for an easy one, and a man opens the basket, and Virginia cannot take advantage of the break here in the second turn. Stolen away by Othell Wilson. And Wilson steps out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what. Syracuse is coming out smoking this half. Look at Jimmy Boeheim. He knows what this ball club's capable of doing. They've shot well for him all year long, and that 16 points the first half hurt a lot of pride.
Never been out of postseason play. 6 NCAAs and 2 MITs in his 8 years with the Orange men. Record speaks for himself. Another ball knocked loose. 26-20. Syracuse has pulled back within 6 points, and they're right back in the ball game. For the early minutes of the second half.
They're daring this guy to shoot.
Herons again. Out the air, and a personal foul will be on Edelman. Addison really went high that time, and Edelman gets his second foul.
The sophomore is just a good jumper. Once again, they're giving Cairns a shot in the corner, and he's a good shooter. Sean can knock him down. He had the tough first half, just like everybody on the Orangeman ball club, but he's a very capable shooter. He's 1 for 5 the first half. That's just not like him.
Gets 53% on the season. Addison's been held to 6 points so far. Hawkins turns down low and a reach-in foul. Foul is going to be on Edelman. Now Edelman has 3. And suddenly, here early in the second half, momentum beginning to shift over to the Orangemen.
Well, Jim, the more aggressive team right now is Syracuse. They have turned it into an alley fight. They've cut the lead down to 6. They're going to the hole, giving some decisions to the officials. That's where the game should be played, inside.
26-20. There's a dangerous cross-court pass. There goes Walden again. And up goes Carlisle for the ball for Virginia. Triple team. Now they got an advantage. Virginia's 3-on-2. Here comes Othell Wilson driving down inside. And there's a charging foul on Wilson.
Well, that's 3 team fouls already on the Cavaliers. Nothing on the Orangemen. I have never seen a college game that has not come down to free throws yet. Let's take a look. Othell Wilson had the advantage. 3-on-2 takes it in a little far instead of dishing off. Good position. The Orangemen sacrificing the body.
A gutty charge taken by Hawkins, playing with 3 fouls. 26-20. Syracuse can climb within 4 with a conversion here.
Terry Holland's going to hustle Stokes in to see if he can change things up, because right now his ball club is just getting out rustled.
Well, they're not playing alert ball. Virginia's how they did in the first half. Carl Washington between his legs almost takes out his own player.
Metal Lark Lemon, take a look.
You don't need that. Now Addison set for this one. Up goes Virginia. Here comes Othell. Down on Walden. Othell Wilson. Othell to the right side. Blocked out beautifully by Addison. Rafael Addison with a saving block shot. It probably is Othell Wilson's favorite shot.
Oh, and by far, because Othell will penetrate. He's good off the glass. Addison just doesn't have the outside shot. He really ran the court well to get the block in that instance.
There's Ricky Stokes. He has come in to give Virginia a little more active lineup. Offensive foul. Othell Wilson's third. Wilson double teamed and trapped. Pushed off for his third personal foul. The 14th foul on the Cavaliers. Again, Syracuse has handed the ball and given a chance to pull within 4. First half belonged to Virginia, but Syracuse is laying claim here early in the second half. We played less than 4 minutes. Virginia back to the zone. Washington takes the outside shot. Rebound is to Edelman for Virginia. Down to Othell Wilson. They try for the break. Wilson feeds underneath. Taken away. Addison intercept. Stolen by Ricky Stokes. And here's the loose ball. On Hawkins. And a foul on Hawkins at this point.
Boy, is it wild right now. It's shirts and skins.
Well, it's the Syracuse style, but sometimes you live by the sword. You know what happens. And here it costs them.
All right, here they come, and boy, look at little Stokes. He was put in for a reason. To might a few things up, and there's the foul by Hawkins. That's number 4. We have 16 minutes left in this ballgame, Jim. He's got to sit it out.
Well, that could be a costly turning point for Syracuse. Things were rolling a little bit for the Orange men. They're still trailing, but by only 6. And now Wendell Alexis comes back in. 6'9". He's an inch or 2 taller than Hawkins, but he lacks the beat. Where's the beat, they say?
That's right. Where's the beat?
Cavaliers have lost 4 with a 10-point lead. Now they go back to their flex offense against the man-for-man. Walden missing. Stokes beats inside to Jimmy Miller for the layup. That was a great series of passes by Virginia.
What a substitution by Terry Holland as he puts in Stokes. All right, 1-2-2, packed in zone once again. Washington will get you the shot. He'll find the open man. You got to make him.
28-20. Syracuse offense is geared so that Washington makes the pass that leads to the shot. Or so it's designed. Terry outside. Yep. Sean Karen. He's hit 2 of those here in the second half. Full court pressure.
Boy, that's pretty good, but they foul him.
Reach in by Kearns. Number 1 on him. Second only against the Orange men. Not a bad foul because he had a chance for the steal. 28-22. Virginia's lead is 6 again. Cavaliers led by 12 in the first half and by 10 at intermission. They had an unusual season. Virginia won their first 10 games, then lost 9 out of 13 in the mid-year slump.
Look at Walden move his feet, Jim. You play the basketball game 40 minutes with your feet, only 5 with a hand. That's why
Backdoor Ricky Stokes driving shot. Stuffed in inside by Olden, and a foul on the play. Basket is good.
Jim Stokes created that once again because he is unable to get the layup down, but somebody has to help and recover. Here's Stokes, backdoor. Excellent play by Virginia. There's the help and recover as Cairns has to leave his man, and that leaves it wide open for Edelin. One more time. Here's the move by Stokes. And look at Edelin, who is just a bruiser on the board.
Wendell Alexis got in there a little bit too late. Edelin will try for a 3-point play. Young man was born in Heidelberg, Germany. But he grew up around Washington, D.C. in Alexandria, Virginia. And he's just given his team a 9-point lead with 15 minutes to go. There's time out on the court. The score, Virginia 31, Syracuse 22.
This spring, A&M Stores invites you to see what's new from Nike. And we don't mean just sports shoes. From colorful warm-ups to the latest shorts and tops, Nike's exciting line of activewear is waiting for you at A&M at the best prices you'll find anywhere. Of course, Nike's great shoes are all here, too. For spring fashion, look to Nike from A&M.
In 1984, News 6 continues the tradition of news commitment to Richmond and Central Virginia. News 6, with broadcasts at noon, 6, 7, and 11 p.m. It's flexibility that fits your lifestyle. News 6, delivering unsurpassed service to the entire coverage area and bringing the consistent, understandable, thorough news reporting you expect from the South's first television station. When it comes to news, the choice is clear. WTVR News 6, the Commonwealth's choice.
Boy, look at that record against non-conference teams over 5 years, and that included this reign of Ralph Sampson, 76 and only 7 losses. And they come into this tournament with the worst at-large record in the field, 17-11. But Irv Brown, the power of the ACC, carried them in here on strength of schedule. And here Jimmy Boeheim has the trouble and the problem of trying to fight from behind.
Well, and once again, the poor shooting really has him concerned. There's not much you can do about it as a coach. You change a few things. He has done that. He's gone to a very aggressive press. I really felt that the substitution of Stokes really changed some things. And Elin with a 3-point play stopped the momentum.
Stokes in there. He usually puts spark in the team, which he's done here. There's a baseline run by Addison. There's a shot he normally is going to hit most of the time. Rebound. Stokes gets it away, and Wilson's got it for Virginia. Stokes and Wilson. They call them the Blitz brothers, and that was a good example of how well they team.
Addison's got to start taking it to the hole or get in offensive rebounding position. He just doesn't have his outside shot tonight.
They might just try to set up something with Stokes because Washington has a habit of losing his man.
Well, he guards you so tight, it just creates the backdoor situation. That's the alley-oop.
Othell Wilson. Wilson pulled the string on Waldron.
Three-guard offense really paying off for Terry Holland. Carlisle with the pass.
11-point lead, Cavaliers. So Syracuse has fired and fallen back for the moment. Alexis takes it in. Bounce pass off to Karen. Rebound is out to Virginia. Polynice just hands it over to Wilson. Stokes again, keeping pressure on the Syracuse defense. Now under 14 minutes remaining. Virginia up by 11. Syracuse led in the early going, but only 2. Virginia then hit a streak, 12 straight points.
Look at the poise of the freshman Polynice. He just does not turn it over. He does not make mistakes.
Carlisle back in the lineup. Good shooter. Carlisle around his man. Draws the foul on Addison, blocking number 3.
I think they've got an offensive foul.
Did they? Yes, excuse me. Well, the foul was against Carlisle, his first, and now Virginia has 5 for the team. Only 2 against the Orangemen.
Apparently we got a hook. We're kind of screened out on that one. That's 5 team fouls, as you mentioned, on the Cavaliers. So the Pearls, as the basketball, his ball club trails it by 11. His best outside shooter has been Karen.
Waldron from the front. And up so with the back goes Polynice. And he turns around and says, that man went up my back. But it's personal number 2 on Ogden Polynice. There are 3 New York State players on the Virginia team, Polynice, Carlisle, and Sheehy, and 2 from nearby New Jersey, Merrifield and Mullen.
Terry Holland is looking at that clock, Jim. What he's concerned about, his ball club with 16 fouls, 13-14 left.
Quick one by the Pearl Washington. Washington, his hero, always will owe Pearl Monroe. Got that name very early on in his playground days in Brooklyn. Carlisle, double team. Syracuse doing a good job putting the clamp. Blocking foul, Pearl Washington, number 3. Third on Washington, got there too late on the quick stroke. Picks up his 3rd personal foul.
Take a look at the call here. People think that you can't foul without you using your hands. That's not true. There's the push. Going to the floor is Washington. Did not get the position. If the foul comes in the area of the trunk, you're going to get a charge. In this case, he doesn't do it, and Goat Holmes correctly calls the block.
There he is. Set the Syracuse assist record this year, 111 for freshman. Has 196. Here's Stokes getting free. Rebound down by Addison. Now Monroe. Checked on the fast break for Syracuse. Hawkins is back in there with 4 personal fouls.
Well, Jimmy Boeheim's got to make his move. He knows this thing is slipping away, and the season could be over. You go with your guns now.
Alexis hitting the opposite side to Addison. There's the man they need with a hot hand. His first basket of half.
See what he did different that time when we got a blocking foul. But Addison extended the hand, and he hasn't been doing that. It made all the difference in the world. Now he looks like he's got a little confidence. The foul on Alexis. That team foul number 5.
And 3 on Alexis, 3 on Washington, 3 on Addison, 4 on Hawkins. And Syracuse, a team that does not bless with the defense, now in deeper waters. 33-26, Virginia's lead is 7. 12.5 minutes to go. Got to hurry. Into Stokes, Washington. Goes right by him, took that away.
Jim Washington was fortunate that time.
Starting with his 4th. 12:27 remaining.
Terry Holland is up working the officials now. He wants a little help against the press. It's an alley cat fight out there right now. Look at the pressure. Good job.
And so first locked and foul by Washington. That's 4. 4 on Dwayne Washington, the catalyst of the Syracuse team. And now it becomes very glum indeed for the Syracuse Orangemen. Washington will have to sit down.
All right, here's the bump.
The leg.
By Washington, the contact comes in the trunk, so the Pearl will have to sit it out. That means that Monroe is going to have to take over along with Waldron.
There's the quick rod to Ricky Stokes. He'll take it in. Stokes was running the scores and he's fouled. Hawkins is out of the game. Might be the biggest play of the game so far, and it was the little guy, Ricky Stokes, who created it.
Stokes is that kind of a guy. He will pass up that jump shot. And of course, this situation didn't call for it all, but he always is going to the hole. Hawkins is gone. His ball club, Virginia, leads it by 9. He's at the line. Ricky Stokes. Excellent move. Part of the Blitz brothers. Here's Stokes, goes up, and not a good foul by Hawkins. That's one where he had no chance. You go up and you try and intimidate. Don't go for the body at all.
Now, no chance for Hawkins, especially with 4 fouls on him. Hawkins did not score in the game. He's been averaging almost 11 a game, so the big, physical, strong, intense guy inside is out of this game for Syracuse. It's the 11th time that he's fouled out this year. And Stokes will try for a three-point play.
Jimmy Boeheim right now is talking to the Pearl, and he knows he'll have to make his move soon unless he gets some perimeter shooting right now. Let's see if character takes over. Washington is sitting out with 4. Hawkins is gone. Let's see if Walden and Monroe can find the right guy. Remember, Addison hit his last one. He looked good.
35-26. Here's a guy with that flipping roll. A freshman Monroe, Greg Monroe. Spinning shot. Addison, yeah.
Oh, he's changed it all out, Jim. He's just starting to flap the wrist, and that's the only change I see with him. What a difference.
Virginia got 3-on-1 on the break now. Down the middle it goes to Othell to Stokes. Ricky Stokes again is the man on the spot. Virginia's burning the pressure now, Syracuse. 37-28. Cavaliers maintaining a 9-point lead.
Make a good point, Jim. You beat the press by getting shots. You don't just beat it and hold it up.
Here's Virginia now running against the pressure. In comes Stokes again. 3 in a row.
Outstanding pass by Othell Wilson, the trigger man. Now the Virginia Cavaliers lead by 11.
I got to have a timeout. 11-point lead by Virginia, and Syracuse stops the game with 11:27 to go, and the Wahoos are whooping it up. There's timeout on the court with a score. Virginia 39, Syracuse 28.
Gary Hart. We spend billions on doomsday weapons when what we need are stronger conventional forces. We don't need MX missiles or B-1 bombers. We need less expensive, more mobile planes and ships. We need reliable weapons at reasonable cost. We need new strategies to outthink our enemies, not just outspend them. The real debate should not be how much more to cut or how much more to spend. The real debate should be how to restructure our defense to make America stronger.
New ideas for America.
Which means you can go to the mountains or the beach, but there's only one way to go in a 1984 Oldsmobile Forenza wagon. Why put everything and everybody in a small car when you can fit nicely into a new Oldsmobile Forenza wagon? And here's the best part. Right now, Royal Oldsmobile has new 4-door Forenza wagons for just $85.85. That's right. With all this equipment, just $85.85. So this year, take your vacation in style at Royal Oldsmobile.
In a Royal Oldsmobile.
There's a story here with 11 minutes and 27 seconds to go, which is a mighty long time, but Virginia, which faltered early here in the second half as Syracuse made a quick move, but they've moved back out now to an 11-point lead. 1 point under the biggest lead of the first half at 39-28, and Syracuse must go the rest of the way without their burly center, Andre Hawkins.
Othell Wilson really has done an excellent job in the second half, and he knows an assist is every bit as important as a bucket.
And Pearl is back in for Syracuse.
So you got to make the move.
Yep, going all out. Can't wait for tomorrow. Inside pass, knocked down. But here comes, this is Othell on the Pearl. He's going to take it in on Washington.
Well, you notice how smart he is. He tried to draw the 5th foul on the Pearl. Pearl would have nothing to do with it, but Wilson gives his Buffalo his biggest lead.
13 points at 41-28. Washington knew he couldn't foul. Wilson knew it too. He went right in there against Washington. Pearl on the smart play. Washington on the outside. Rebound. Ripped off by Virginia Sheehy. 41-28. You saw the foul situation. Deep troubles for Syracuse. They've lost one man. Washington has 4. And each team has 2 other players with 3 apiece.
Once again, with Wilson as the quarterback, they'll burn some time and be very patient.
They'll look for an easy backdoor layup here. They're in a 1-4 setup. They'll break a man out. They'll also break backdoor. See, there's Wilson breaking the inside. And he's fouled on the play by Monroe.
Nice pass by Carlisle. Carlisle, Stokes, Wilson have traded off, finding the right man. What a nice move. Little flash in here. Carlisle finds Othell Wilson. Here's the flash by Othell. Goes up. Easy one. And a free throw coming.
Virginia playing with poise and confidence. Watch this.
Look at the angle here. Now, Terry Holland has used this all night long, both against man and zone. Just flash across the middle. Keep it open. Let somebody hit to it. Right now, it's all Virginia.
9 points by Othell Wilson. 44-28. 16-point lead suddenly for the Cavaliers. And now the Orange going to have a very long trip to come back. Addison off the mark. Good play inside by Alexis. Windmill Alexis with a strong move to follow up.
Boy, they needed something right there. And the sophomore out of Brooklyn, just 19 years of age, got it done. Nobody's back. They got a layup.
Othell, and here comes Sheehy in from the layup. Walks, won't count. Taken away by travel by Sheehy. 44-30, 14-point lead. It didn't seem soon enough for him.
You know what? A major mistake by Syracuse. Jimmy Boeheim is up talking to the Pearl, and he's telling him somebody has got to be back because they make a mistake. They get a break because of the travel call.
Well, the boys in Syracuse have got the work cut out, and they know it. Turns over the corner. That will take that kind of shooting. They almost shot themselves in too deep a hole in the first half. Let's see if they really did. Polynice gets it up to Little Stokes. Wants to beat the press. Virginia get an easy shot. That's Carlisle.
They're killing the press, Jim. The press has hurt Syracuse. Haven't helped them.
46-32. Leads at 14 with 9.5 minutes to go. Addison driving hard. Blocking foul. That'll be on Sheehy of Virginia. Now both teams will be in the bonus. 7 personal fouls against each team. Terry Holland, very intently looking on, started his basketball in the college ranks as the first recruit ever for Lefty Driesell at Davidson College. Succeeded him there as head coach and became Southern Conference Coach of the Year 3 times. At the ACC, you know the story he's done it for Virginia.
I'll tell you what, he ought to feel honored because Lefty has recruited some pretty good horses. He used to sleep in his car, brown bag it. I'd take that as an honor if I was Terry Holland.
And he's not doing well in the NCAA this year. Won the ACC championship for the first time. Kent Needland retires replacing Ricky Stokes, and you heard the hand for Stokes.
Did a great job along with Carlisle and Wilson. The 3-guard offense paid off.
Corner shot by Addison. 46-34.
45, Maryland 43.
Here comes Carlisle now against the pressure. They're going to take it out in the half court. Virginia might try to get down now into a little bit slower tempo.
Over in Lexington, Illinois leads Maryland 45-43. I believe there's 9 minutes left, what I heard.
That's figured to be a great game.
Oh, yeah.
9 minutes. There's the champions of the ACC and the champions of the Big Ten playing as a preliminary to Kentucky-Louisville. Carlisle around his man. There's it back out.
And Carlisle is smart. He hooked and got away with it. That was a nice little move on the baseline. That showed me something.
Now under 9-minute mark. Syracuse having to go all out. Washington playing with 4 fouls. Oh, dangerous pass. Whoop. And it is turned over by Virginia finally.
Syracuse.
They run off some time, though, Irv. It's almost as good as scoring.
It is. Syracuse can cut it down to 10. Here comes Stokes back in. Terry Holland wants another ball handler. The speed will
get it out. He's an electrifying little player. You know his brother, Bobby Stokes, played on Virginia's first ACC championship team, 1976. And Ricky went on to beat Bobby's longevity record, and he is tonight, Ricky Stokes is, he's tying Ralph Sampson's record at Virginia, 132 games. So if they win, he's going to replace Sampson as the player who played in the most games ever for the Cavaliers.
Our delay, we've got some water on the floor, and the hand is for one of the officials, Charlie Baca, helping doing a little work over there, tidying up.
You know the officials are doing a great job, Irv, when you don't notice them, and you are a great official yourself. As a matter of fact, Jim Boeheim says you officiated the greatest game you ever saw.
He must have won.
So you know the path they face on you.
And our guys are Sonny Holmes out of Arkansas, Bobby Diver from Texas, and Charlie Bacchus from Tennessee.
Now Syracuse, they know the situation. They're down by 12.
Boy, do they need to get some breaks.
Olden. Rebound is still Western Virginia. Syracuse not going. There's the lob inside. He's in a good catch. Comes out with it. Boy, that was a nice job by Alexis to break up the alley-oop.
Terry Holland, I don't think, is very thrilled with that effort because he wants possession here. He doesn't need points now. He needs a little time off the clock, maybe get fouled. They are in a 1-and-1.
8 minutes to go in the game. 12-point lead by Virginia. Cavaliers, who some said didn't belong here, going for the 3rd straight win. So this is their answer.
You know, what's interesting, last year North Carolina State, everybody said didn't belong there. And all Jimmy Valvano did is go out and foul people, stop the clock, and win a national championship.
Well, he won the close games. Virginia has won in overtime, and they won a 1-pointer. Now the Cavaliers won a timeout. 7:37 showing on the clock. The Cavaliers are in the driver's seat. There's Panel on the court with a score. Virginia 46, Syracuse 34.
United Virginia Bank wants to loan $550 million this year.
I'll take it.
Oh, sir, you will have to fill out an application.
This is hard.
No, but you should look it over.
I'll take it. Put it in the bag.
Aren't you interested in our competitive interest rate?
Nope.
We do have an excellent rate for personal...
Get this.
Well, sir, even if we could loan it all to you, how would you spend $550 million?
Fast.
United Virginia Bank. We're lending money in a big way.
It's Haley Pontiac's birthday celebration, and we've got a present for you. Like this family-size Haley Pontiac Bonneville, list $11,652. Now it's only $10,252. Best price this year. Now, if that doesn't take the cake, we've got special birthday price tags on more than 250 brand-new Haley Pontiacs. And with 9.9 APR financing, nobody can hold a candle to this sale. As for the competition, let them eat cake. Boy, is that good. I love this cake.
All right, back here at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the East Region semifinals. Virginia 46, Syracuse 34. Jim Boeheim's team has been trying to fight uphill since midway in the first half. Later, North Carolina plays Indiana.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, Terry Holland was talking about, there's the attendance tonight in town. That's a sellout right here at the Omni. Terry Holland was talking about North Carolina and just how good they are. Virginia gave them all they wanted in one ball game. I saw it on the cable. It was a good basketball game. 33% for Syracuse. They've only hit 16 field goals, 46 for Virginia. Rebounding, 33 for the Cavs, 22 for the Orangemen.
Outstanding guard play again tonight for the Cavaliers. There's Virginia's shooting in the second half, 60%, 46-34. So what you shot early is no consequence. Here goes Polynice inside, draws the foul. That'll be on Kearns. Number 2 on Sean Kearns, playing his final game perhaps for Syracuse, barring a comeback.
This is called from the bench. Get it inside, down on the blocks, and Kearns picks up the foul. Free throws coming. Virginia leads it by a dozen.
Ogden Polynice, born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and grew up in New York, and that's where he learned his basketball. Didn't start until he was 14 years old, and has he come a long way and still improving.
Well, you know, Jim, when you think about Olajuwon and this guy, people who start out a little later, they don't have bad habits possibly, and you can really go out and coach him, because this kid impresses me. He just does not turn it over. He does not make mistakes. He doesn't do things that hurt his team.
47-34. Virginia stops Syracuse advantage fast break. Addison moves inside, and he is a charging foul. Third foul on Addison.
Tough night for Addison. He finally got the outside shot going, hit a couple. This time takes it to the hole. Let's take a look at Addison as he'll go hard to the hole. Good position, though, by the Cavaliers. Right there, and there's the bump.
Yeah. That man is entitled to his position. The cone upward is his error. You can explain that better than I. That's right. Got to hurry, 5 seconds. Get it close. Didn't make it. It's got to be caught inbounds at 5 seconds. And Syracuse does an exceptional job cutting off the inbounds pass by Virginia. You know, coaches hate that error when they don't get it in.
Oh, yeah, and this has been their game. Of course, you can't throw it to someone else out of bounds unless it's after a made free throw or field goal.
Now, Washington fouled by Othell Wilson. Now, Wilson has 4. Don't write this game off. Yes, 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Syracuse trailing by 13. Othell Wilson, the key player for the Wahoos, picks up his 4th personal foul, and he's looking askingly over to Terry Holland. Holland just turned to Jim Larrañaga. So what do you think?
I think Terry Holland is Randolph Scott. I think he's been playing those films.
Well, you know they're both from North Carolina. You know that.
I didn't know that.
Wayne Washington will receive his second free throw. Now, back against Edelin, out goes Wilson. So they'll just go back to a big lineup, and Carlisle, who've been playing forward, will move back to backcourt, and Ricky Stokes becomes the point guard. 8 points for the Pearl. Full court pressure again by Syracuse. It just worked a moment ago. Inbounds to Carlisle. Washington now goes out of the game. 5 fouls on Pearl Washington. They'll leave with 8 point, and 7:09 to go, and that is a killing blow against the Orangemen.
Well, it really hurts. Once again, when you press, so you can expect that. Arms are everywhere. You might get away with 1-2. You're going to get caught eventually. So Washington is gone. Hawkins is gone. And what an uphill battle for Syracuse. They have not shot well. If they're going to pull this thing off and come from behind, all hands have got to do their job. And I'd say the key's got to be Addison.
Well, you can't fault Boeheim. His team is down by double-digit figures. He had to send them down to the press, and if you send Washington to press, he's got to go all out to be effective.
And any question about it, Jimmy's shaking his head, and it hurts. Because his ball club has responded all year long. They take Georgetown to the hilt in the finals of the ECAC tournament. Jimmy Boeheim, the coach of the year in the ECAC.
Rick Carlisle cannot get the front end. So Syracuse still got glimmering hopes. Down by 11 points. Walden down the middle for that. Rebound off by a charging foul on Walden. Well, good position. It's so tough anymore to drive the middle against these college teams. They're just too well coached.
Well, absolutely, because they're going to accept the charge, take it. Look at Polynice. He'll stand in there right there. Great position. Charlie Vaca makes the call. So Polynice at the line. He's been a major force tonight for his ball club.
Polynice has scored 11 points. He's the top scorer in the ball game for Virginia. Second only to Addison, who's got 14 for Syracuse. Bonus coming now for Polynice.
If Terry Holland hangs on and wins this one, it's another 20-win year for him. The guy's got an excellent percentage.
12-point lead for Virginia. Under 7 minutes remaining. Walden by Walden. That for Walden's his 8th point. All out pressure again.
He's carrying the shot well in the second half. Good pressure by Hayes.
Now they got 2-on-1. Olden to the left of Stokes. Stokes gives it to Olden. Great pass.
What a job by Ricky Stokes.
50-38, Virginia by 12. Well, the excitement will be building now as we head into the final 6 minutes of the game. Alexis down underneath the basket. Blocked by Miller, but he got him on the hand. Jimmy Miller's second personal foul. Well, what a pass that was by Ricky Stokes. Wasn't that a beauty?
Let's take a look. Once again, Stokes came in there when the ball game was down to a 6-point lead. Look at him unselfishly give it up, and Polynice goes up, and if you don't have those tear-down rims, he might break the glass. I beg your pardon, I said Polynice, and then Olden.
Captain Olden. I know Boeheim may look resigned to you, but he is not giving up in this game a long shot. Alexis will get the bonus free throw. They compare this guy sometimes to Lewis Orr. Remember the very willowy guy who played back in Roosevelt Boy with Syracuse.
I'll see him Saturday night.
A little disappointing here maybe for Alexis, but nevertheless, he's been a key man off the bench. Carlisle double team. Back over his head to Polynice. They're having a little trouble this press. Now they've beaten it 3-on-2. Stokes in the middle is going to pull it out. Boy, is he a smart little cookie.
I tell you what, he keeps the ball close to the ground when he dribbles. You talk about tough to take it away. Wilson sitting it out.
Give and go. Stokes, look at that. 360 by Stokes. 52-40. Virginia by a dozen with 5:50 remaining. Run to 6:41. Allison's long. Bounce back out to reach in by Stokes. And Stokes says, yep, you got it. Reach in by Stokes, tried to jar the ball loose from the freshman, Greg Monroe.
I tell you, you got to have a little theater, and the crowd appreciated what Stokes did because he had a great shot at the other end.
Ricky Stokes, 5'10". I can't even know about his height. I say, you can't be more than 5'9". He says, oh, but I'm 5'10". We're going to measure right after the game. That's blocked out by Olden. Reach in by Addison, 4th foul. I don't understand that foul. He had no chance.
The one that really hurt Jimmy Boeheim's ball club was when his big guy, Hawkins, picked it well, and Washington also. But Hawkins picked up his 5th on a breakaway. Stokes was out in front of the pack, and you just got to use your height there and fly up around the glass.
Olden is an excellent field goal shooter. He shoots 67% from the free throw from the field. On the free throw line, he's only 50%.
Tell you one thing, I watched him warm up, and he went up and put his hand above the square. Got my attention on that one.
Yeah, they fractured his cheekbone back early in the year and borrowed some glasses that were used by Jabbar. He wore them for a long while.
Yeah, he unfortunately caught an elbow that was accidentally thrown by Merrifield.
53-50. Syracuse can ill afford to waste a lot of time looking for shots. Alexis on the inside baseline. Battle for the rebound. And put up by Kern.
beating the press.
He reads these defenses, finds the open man, even though he stands well down below those tall players. 53-42.
5-second count is on. It's still on.
Ball is kicked by Addison. Syracuse is going all-out pressure right now, and time is the big enemy. 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Boeheim knows it.
Well, Jimmy wanted the 5-second call because you hold and dribble out beyond that little mark at the 28-foot mark. It's still on.
Big East Coach of the Year. What a job he did rebuilding. He was also District 2 Coach of the Year. Lost Routens. He lost Sandifer. Lost Bruin. Has had his team stripped last year, but he came right back with the Pearl and built a fine team to finish second at Georgetown.
Oh, what a program up there, though. They just pack them in the Carrier Dome. And, you know, 4 years of Washington, I guarantee you, season ticket holders love that guy.
15,000 season tickets, second only to Kentucky. 53-42. Virginia now under 5 minutes to go. Carlisle steps right inside, draws the block, also draws the foul. A foul was not on Alexis, who blocked it. It was a reach-in on Gene Waldron, his third.
Both teams over the limit. Of course, a shooting foul here. 53-42. The Cavaliers in command.
Carlisle, who's now scored over 700 points, but the two biggest he's gotten so far were the two against Arkansas. That took the national ranked Razorbacks out, and it was a deflected shot by Stokes, and Carlisle grabbed it and fired it through from the baseline, and Virginia had its biggest upset of the year.
Well, and Jimmy, at this stage, you'd have to say this is the Cinderella team. You know, this might be your North Carolina State of '84.
Irv, remember Cincinnati with Oscar Robertson all those years, never won it, and then after he was left, they come right back with a national championship. Well, Sampson's gone and never won it. So Virginia fans are wondering. Carlisle fights out of a triple team. Now 4.5 minutes remaining. Virginia by 12, 54-42. Cavaliers, so far, no signs of cracking.
Well, if they hang on, that would be their third win in the NCAA. They, you know, the ball club that a lot of people thought should not be here, and I'll tell you what, they burned their way.
They would be 10-4 under Terry Holland in NCAA play, and only one loss to a non-ACC team in NCAA play. You know, 3 of those 4 losses was a team like North Carolina. There the shooting percentages this half. 65% by Virginia. Double team on Carlisle. He finds Stokes. Now 3:50 remaining, under 4. 12-point lead, Virginia.
I tell you, it's tough to take it away from Wilson and Stokes. That's a couple guys who know how to dribble the basketball.
Now there's the push. Foul is on Walden. Almost a frustration foul. His
Look at
fourth.
this stat, Jim. Isn't that interesting?
Well, you know, they've been one of the national leaders in holding teams under 50%. There have been very few teams that hit over 50% against them. They held Arkansas, you know, which was 5th in the country under 50% in the last game.
And what's interesting, when you talk to Terry Holland, he kind of shakes his head. He'll say things like, we don't play as good a defense as I'd like. Because Terry is a man coach. And man coaches, even though they're forced to play zone. I saw Don Haskins play a lot of it. Man, we're talking about Terry Holland. I saw Don Haskins play a lot of zone this year. He's never played zone. You just are forced to with the athletes you have today, but you got to protect your people when they get in foul trouble.
Othell Wilson beat Iona in the last second shot to get them started. 55-42, Virginia by 13. Cavaliers have been shaky only at the free throw line here in the second half. 3.5 minutes to go. Inside pass picked off by Virginia. Here comes Othell. Carlisle on the left, Stokes on the right. Now we go back battling against the clock. And it's Syracuse's battle here because they trail by 13. If Syracuse loses, then the Big East is down to only Georgetown. The ACC coming in with 4 teams alive tonight. Maryland losing at last report with a close game of Illinois. Now on to 3 minutes. Virginia very effective delay. Ennistal leading by 13.
Keep it out of the corners, and that's the key. Don't let them double you up.
Ball is kicked in there by Alexis. That'll be an inbounds play by Virginia. Now the fans here in Atlanta, over 16,000. Again, that's Staccato 10, ACC. And of course, the leaning is obvious. Top-ranked North Carolina to follow here tonight against Indiana. Wake Forest to play tomorrow against DePaul. Virginia winning here over Syracuse. Monroe gets his second. It'll be a 1-1 to Othell Wilson. Othell Wilson had kind of a stormy career for Virginia. He was benched early in the year, as Jim Boeheim now is looking on from the gathering gloom around the Syracuse bench. You could be start thinking about golf, but Irv, if you're thinking about that, don't play him. He can play. Is that right? Bonus coming for Wilson.
Look at the body on this guy, Jim.
You know, he set the Virginia school record for steals, 217 coming tonight. He's also second in assists. Jeff Jones. Virginia really not free-throwing well, but yet they're maintaining a comfortable lead. Now 14 points. The biggest was 16. Addison driving, hitting, and foul by Miller. This may be the prettiest play by Addison. 3 fouls on Jim Miller. Addison with 16 points, and that may be his best play.
Well, he had such a tough shooting first half, only 3 of 9. Comes in, little acrobatic move, looked like a gymnast there, bangs it off the glass. So the lead is down to 12. It's not impossible, but you need every break. Every time you foul a Virginia Cavalier, they've got to miss the front end of the 1-and-1. You got to make sure as we get a substitution, Polynice comes back in. You got to make sure that you don't foul intentionally. Everybody knows that they're fouling intentionally, but you can't make it look like it.
Addison trying for a 3-point play. He just set a record here tonight, the highest season total for a player ever under Jim Boeheim. 2-on-1. Here's Othell getting it to Polynice. And there's a 2-shot foul by Alexis. And Alexis' 4th foul. They had a man wide open, and so Alexis knew that.
That's not what Jimmy Boeheim wanted his team to do. He wants them to foul and stop the clock, but you got to make it look like it's not intentional. We'll take a look at the intentional foul here. And we had a rule, Jim, at the beginning of the year that all fouls in the last 2 minutes were intentional. And
bad rule.
Yeah, it was turned into a farce. And it's unfortunate because there was a lot of thought put into it by the Rules Committee. It just didn't work out. So now you put the onus back on the officials. In this case, Bobby Diver goes with the correct call, 2 shots intentional.
12 points tonight for Othell, 13. He's only 3 points from becoming the 8th leading scorer and catching Lee Raker. All-time history for Virginia. 58-44, Virginia. Looking very strong here with just over 2 minutes to go in the game. Down low, Alexis sweeping her.
One of the things that we haven't pointed out that we should, the Cavaliers, as we get a foul right here once again, but the Cavaliers have rebounded effectively tonight. That should be 5 fouls now on
Alexis. That's his 5th. He becomes the 3rd player to be banished here for fouling by Syracuse. But the Orange men sort of created that by falling behind by 12 points in the first half. And unable to catch up early in the second half, almost were forced into fouling. Now that's going to be Howard Frisch. Howard Frisch, a freshman from Syracuse, a hometown product. There's Wendell Alexis. He'll be back next year, only a sophomore. Finishes the night with 6 points. And Ricky Stokes on the line for Virginia, 1-1. Virginia has missed 8 free throws in the second half. That's the 9th. So that's the one bad spot they've had in their game. Virginia still leads by 12. Now under 2 minutes remaining. Addison from the side. Addison doing all he can to get his team back in. Let's see. Does Syracuse call timeout? Nope. That's 18 points for Addison. Othell Wilson now double team looking for help, and he's fouled in backcourt by Trish. It'll be a 1-1. First foul on Trish. That stops the clock with 1:47. And Syracuse is just about reduced now to one strategy. Foul and hope.
Foul quickly, stop the clock. And once again, Virginia has had a tough time at the line. So if you can get the front half of the 1-and-1 miss and you come down and get something, still got a little bit of a flicker of hope.
Wilson has averaged about 10 points a game in every NCAA tournament game he's played in, and he's over 10 here tonight. He has 13, 14. He's now 2 points behind Lee Raker and the all-time scoring for Virginia. He has over 1,400 points.
Jim, it looks like he's really matured, though, from the suspension that Terry Howland handed out. He got a tough call a little while ago from one of the officials, and he kept his cool. Now, the old Othell Wilson might have exploded, and that's what Terry was trying to teach him a lesson.
Well, we're getting a timeout here with just a minute and 47 seconds to go, and Virginia looks like they're solidly moving on to the finals of the East Regional. They have a 12-point lead, and Syracuse has been stripped of a lot of its manpower. Well, while we have a moment, we wish to take this opportunity to thank Tournament Media Coordinator Mike Finn, Athletic Director Dick Schultz of the University of Virginia, Head Basketball Coach Terry Holland and his staff, and Sports Information Director Rich Murray. And from Syracuse, Athletic Director J.P. Kraus-Nails, Head Basketball Coach Jim Boeheim and his staff, and Sports Information Director Larry Kimball. Well, the fans are having a great time here in Atlanta. It was a beautiful day here in the South today, about 70 degrees, brilliant sunshine. I don't know how it was up in Syracuse, but it couldn't have been any better than this.
I know how it was in Colorado. It was snowing when I left.
There's the Syracuse bench. They had an outstanding year, 23 victories. They carried Georgetown right down to the final. Georgetown's the only team that really dominated them this year. And not really dominating fashion, but they won 3 out of 3 from them. Syracuse held its own in the tough Big East, and they made it here into the East Regional, Final 16. Well, right now, their hopes are beginning to flicker out with only a minute and 47 seconds to go, and Virginia on top by 12.
And once again, the strategy, the only strategy, you must foul, you must stop the clock. The guy you don't want to follow is Wilson. He just knocked down a couple easily.
60-48. Stokes just putting a little mild pressure on Walden. Just eat up a little more clock. Now Virginia's off back in his own, and roll on the outside, drills it home.
See if they can get the clock stopped quickly, Jim. There it is. They did it in 1 second. 1:33 left, 10-point, or make it a 9-point lead for Virginia.
Not
10-point. They changed the score.
60-50, the foul on Walden is his fifth. That's 5 on Walden. He becomes the 4th player to foul out for Syracuse. They may set a record here for the NCAA. 8 points tonight for Gene Walden. And now Jim Boeheim may have to go down to Sonny Spira or George Papadakis. Let's see who it'll be. Looks like it's going to be Spira. Well, Spira comes in, a junior from Endwell, New York. He was a high school teammate of Sean Terrence.
If you believe in percentages, this is one of the guys you foul, Othell Wilson. I really don't believe in percentages because Othell just looks like he's right and will make the free throw, and he does.
Well, he's good in the big games. He's a veteran. He's not no shot shoot for experience. 16 points. He's just tied Lee Ricker as the number 8 scorer all time, and this could break the tie. There it is. He's only 2 away from the 15th spot. 62-50 Virginia. Cavaliers, after they broke a deadlock in the early going, stretched to a 12-point first half lead, then the 10 at halftime. Won up by 16 here in the second half, and they have beaten off every attempt Syracuse has made. Monroe just knocked it along with a moment ago. Nifty little pass. Addison gets a little closer. Rebound, and a reach-in foul by Othell Wilson. And that's all for Wilson, and you'll hear a nice hand, I think, for Othell Wilson as he goes off here with 17 points.
Look at him. Look at this. Now look at leadership, Jimmy. Look at him haul him up and tell him, hey, I'm gone. You guys play hard. We're going to play either North Carolina or Indiana Saturday. I like this guy. Listen to the crowd.
Standing ovation.
You know, sometimes when you sit a guy down for a while, people come to grips with themselves. And Othell Wilson, having a little drink right now on the sideline, had an outstanding ball game, and I think that later in life he'll realize Terry Holland did him a big favor when he sat him out.
Trish, now we got a bonus free throw. Young guy who stayed home to play his collegiate basketball. Looks like a good future player for Jim Boeheim. Well, so Wilson had his moments of temperament and emotion on the court, but as Eric says, he seems to want to go. Oh, tipped in by Polynice. Polynice gets the basket. It's a team. Basket here is a 1-1. They stopped the clock with a minute 9 to go.
Jim, I tell you, the lead is down to 9. Polynice tried to grab the rebound. The ball goes in the hole.
62-53, 1 minute 9 seconds to go. That's going to be up to Virginia on the free throw line now, so they have their fate in their hands. If they can hit the free throws, it's probably history. But if not, Boeheim has to keep that one action open. That's one chance that Syracuse might have of overcoming this seemingly impossible deficit.
It's the best free throw shooter on the team, 83%. He missed it. They're still light.
They've had that trouble at the line tonight. We're still over a minute to go.
Got to shoot quick.
Oh, can't hold it. There's the young guy off the bench. And here, for losing all those players by fouls, suddenly hurts. You get cold players in, not used to handling the ball. And there's a foul by Courage. Stops the clock. Clarence third foul. We feel like saying only third foul, since 4 players have been banished, and Addison is playing with 4.
Boy, if you're a coach, the thing that just drives you wild is missed free throws. And there isn't anything you can do about it. You practice it.
Virginia's missed 10 in the second half. They've been 14 and missed 10. Not a good percentage. Nope. Dan Merrifield up, he's 1 for 2. This guy's uncle, you know, was Bill Milksy. Remember him? The foul. Another miss. They're leaving the door open for Syracuse, slightly ajar now. 57 seconds
Got to take it to the hole. Looking for 3 points.
There goes Treese. He charges, won't count. Treese goes with abandon. Charges over a defensive player, and it's oh so costly to the Syracuse hopes that are dying now with 53 seconds remaining.
It's a good move. It doesn't work out, but here you're taking your shot. Your best shot is to go inside, looking for a 3-point play. Here's the effort. Good position once again, as Polynice has done this twice tonight. Charlie Baca with the correct call.
Tim Mullen checks in for Virginia. 62-53. Now they got a 2-on-1 with Stokes. He's going to run off some clock. Syracuse looking for somebody to foul. Carlisle, a good shooter right there.
Here's where you got to be quick and not let somebody foul you. Run away from people. Pass the basketball and run away.
35 seconds. Carlisle, what's the back out? Virginia's moving on to the finals. They have a 9-point lead. It's going to be enough. 26 seconds to go. Now Syracuse needing to foul to stop the clock. They cannot get it to a player to foul. Virginia great in spreading it out. There's the reach over, but the clock is ticked on down to 14.
They ran off 32 seconds. They did a great job.
That will be victory number 20 for Terry Holland and the Cavaliers, who were cast aside when it became selection time. But I think now the selection committee has been exonerated completely for that selection. And it has to be a very satisfying situation for Terry Holland and Virginia.
Jim, is he that calm? You know, I talked to him before the ball game, and he's as calm as anyone I've ever talked to on the outside. Is he? You know him better.
You want a truthful answer?
Yeah.
No. He's a very intense guy, but he keeps it all inside. Well, he's smiling now, but you see this one, probably is in the column. Virginia closing down on another victory, 63-53, 10-point lead over Syracuse with 9 seconds to go. And the foul against Virginia's Jim Miller, his 4th. The Syracuse Orangemen got too far out of it and didn't have what it took to come back, as Virginia staved off every attempt by Syracuse. And then after Jim Boeheim's team lost Andre Hawkins and Dwayne Washington, they knew the hopes were all but gone. Tom Sheehy checks back in for Virginia. There's the pearl and the gloom around the Syracuse team, but they need to keep their heads up, Earl. It's a great season. I know they feel badly tonight, probably tomorrow, but 23-9 is not that bad a ledger.
No, they've played extremely well. You'll hear a lot from them. You know, they've got the nucleus of that ball club back. And, you know, Washington passed extremely well tonight, and his teammates just had a tough time shooting the ball. You know what Addison can do. He's back. They got a nice little base to work with.
Addison's over 850 points. Biggest year a player's ever had for Jim Boeheim in the scoring column. And now in the backcourt, Tim Mullen is fired on a foul in the double team with 7 seconds to go. Virginia by 8. They have not done a good job on the free throw line, or they would have been able to put this game away a long time ago. Now Polynice will come in for Syracuse. The big Canadian, 6'11" freshman, just needs experience and add a little more strength to his upper body.
Needs to eat this summer a lot.
Well, you know, remember Leo Routens, who was the passing magician for Syracuse? This guy comes the same school, Don Mills, Ontario.
Routens is a great passer. That's as good as I saw last year.
Well, then they get Pearl right behind him. Look at Stokes being saluted. Terry Holland now taking out the Virginia regulars. 7 seconds remaining. In there is Kenny Johnson, Anthony Solomon.
Little camaraderie there. Tell you what, this ball club acts to me like they think they can go a little further just tonight.
Here's Mullen, who's been almost a forgotten man for Virginia. He was the M&M boy with Miller. Now with 3 seconds, Syracuse can get one more shot. And no. That's a 63-58 victory for Virginia. So that's the horn ending this game, and the East Ridge Bowl will return for some closing thoughts after these messages. The final score, Virginia 63, Syracuse 55.
Buy a brand new 84 Chevrolet today with no cash down and pay less than $27 a week. That's less than $4 a day. Where? One place. Martin Chevrolet, Central Virginia's volume Chevrolet dealer. Right now, Martin has over 150 Chevettes, all in stock for immediate delivery. Get your new Chevette today for less than $27 a week. Less than $4 a day. We've got them here right now at Martin Chevrolet. Martin Chevrolet, Midlothian Turnpike, 3 miles west of Cloverleaf Mall, Richmond.
This spring, A&M Stores invites you to see what's new from Adidas. And we don't mean just sports shoes. From colorful warm-ups to the latest shorts and tops, the exciting line of activewear from Adidas is waiting for you at A&M at the best prices you'll find anywhere. Of course, all the Adidas shoes are here, too. For spring fashions, look to Adidas at all A&M stores.
A minute of your time. Can anyone name a copier manufacturer that's bigger than Ricoh?
Xerox.
Ricoh's bigger. IBM? Ricoh's bigger. And we got to be bigger than Xerox by making precision-engineered copiers like this Ricoh 4060.
I'm beginning to see the light.
Now, are you still overlooking Ricoh and the Ricoh 4060?
For all your duplicating needs, contact Balk & Company, your authorized Ricoh distributor.
A solid win for Virginia over Syracuse. 3 players in double figures, led by Othell Wilson, 17. 2 others with 8. Syracuse had Rafael Addison with 20, but their own fouling killed their chances. An effective defense for the Cavaliers, and a good win.
Very good win for Virginia. That's their 3rd straight. Now another 20-game winning season for Terry Howland. This ball club is playing with a great deal of confidence. It's going to be interesting to see what happens Saturday.
We thank those who made this telecast possible and for their very good work. Now Virginia looks ahead to the winner between North Carolina and the University of Indiana. The next semifinal game here in the East Region. As we move on down, Virginia reaches the final 18 of 1984 on the road to Seattle with a solid victory here over the Syracuse Orangemen of the Big East tonight, defeating them by 8 points with great backcourt play, and they were able to survive Syracuse's vaunted pressure defense, and they also fought off a comeback that was being sparked by Dwayne Washington. So that's the final score here. This is Jim Packer Brown saying so long. We hope you enjoy the NCAA the rest of the way in 1984. The final score again, Virginia 63, Syracuse 55. This has been an NCAA production telecast.
Here's the place to partake of good food and refreshments. I like